Welcome back. Today I'm going to start on the pollen filter situation. I have bought a Peugeot 206 OE pollen filter. For this setup, however, I think it's going to be too big. I will modify this panel filter to sit on top of the intake duct. My method for installing this on the car is going to be bolting these two parts together. I'm going to use longer bolts so I can effectively use them as studs to locate them through the bulkhead. And put some tape just around the edges of the filter. Next, I need to cut a piece of foam that will sit between the bulkhead and this bottom plate here. I want it to recess so it's level with the nut. When the time comes, this is ready to install on the car. The next job is to finish off the front bumper. There are a few patches where the fiberglass is too thin, therefore I need to patch it from the inside. I also want to reinforce the lower edge around the bottom. I have done all the trimming around the headlight and where it meets the front wing. However, I do need to finish off around the wheel arch, the lower lip of the bumper, and all the way around the front vent. I'm not sure if this will show on the camera, but you can see if I run my hand behind the bumper here, you can see the shadow. That shows that it's really thin at certain areas. This is probably one of the worst areas. I have decided that the bottom lip of the bumper doesn't need reinforcing. However, I will go over a few patches with some more fiberglass. The worst of the imperfections out of the bumper. I'll go over the bumper with some grey primer. Once I have a couple of layers on, I can sand it even further, and then I'll put some wax on it, ready for the vinyl. Front bumper, the front wings, the doors, the rear quarter panels and the boot lid all prepped. It now leaves me with the bonnet. All the weight saving is done, the inner skin is cut out. I have cut the vents out and installed the Euro catches. The next thing to do is to figure out how I'm going to install the wind deflectors for the vents. The reason I'm cutting this piece off to create a bigger border around the cutout in the bonnet, this is to allow room to weld the deflector from the inside. The key here is just to slowly edge my way through this inner skin. I clearly don't want to go through to the outside. I have bent both sides into shape now. I just need to weld the ends together and then I can weld them to the bonnet. I finished up the welding quite late last night on the bonnet, so I'm just going to see how badly I did. We'll see what the damage is now. It's not too bad at all. From the outside, the bonnet is still relatively smooth around the weld line. The next job is to figure out how far I'm going to cut these to bend them to make the lip on the outside. I will be using this rubber trim to go around the edge. This is recessed to about 10mm. I think 8 to 10mm will be perfect. Next, I will prepare the area around this vent for some paint. I just need a small area around it where I can paint it with some etch primer. Then I can paint this piece black. Once the trim is on and the mesh is on the inside of the bonnet, then it's all ready for the vinyl wrap on this area. The next jobs are to take off the rough edges and all of the sealant that was left on the inside skin of the bonnet. It was a fair bit of work to get these deflectors on the bonnet. For those of you who are unaware, I'm just going to run through some of the benefits of having this setup. It is all aimed at managing the air well. I want the air to come through the front bumper, through the intercooler and up into the engine bay. These vents are used to extract the air. This aids engine cooling and in theory reduces the drag on the car. As the air comes up over the bonnet, it is deflected around this ridge. This minimises back pressure into the engine bay and allows the air that comes in through the front of the car to escape. Once again, that's it for another episode. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next week.